in 2024 and above, if you're using email marketing, you really need to listen to what I have to say, because it's very important. And this is the foundation of everything when it comes to email marketing. And by that, I mean email deliverability. Email deliverability is the one topic that for the most time, nobody talked about. And it's just becoming more popular now because Gmail and Yahoo changed their requirements, and now you must have the email authentication set up in order to send emails. And it's very funny to me because since the beginning of me working with email marketing, I understood very clearly that if you want to send emails, you need to set up, you need to do a few things in order to make sure that the emails will actually arrive in the other end. So it's not like you have a product or you have some kind of samples and you want to send that to people, and you go to the post office and you give it to them, and then you will know that they will deliver those parcels, those products for you. It doesn't quite work like this. So when you have a email autoresponder like Active Campaign or Gmail, or not Gmail, sorry, GetResponse or MailChimp or anything like this, you give them the emails, the content, the message, and the contacts, and then you go press the button and you expect them to deliver them to you on your behalf. And to a certain extent, they will, but it's not as simple as that. And this is because it's not just on their domain, on their control, everything that goes and happens between the time that you press the button and you send the email and the time that the email arrives on the other end. Okay, there's only so much that those providers can actually do on your behalf. So today I'm going to be covering quite a lot in here because I want you to understand the full picture. And I'm going to be very clear on what you need to do and how you need to implement things, so then there is no confusion. And this is going to be a very high level explanation, but I do have a course and it's free, and I'm going to leave the link in the description, and you can go through the course and you can implement the email authentication and some of the other things that I'm going to be mentioning here. And if you get stuck, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment here and I'll be happy to reply back. Okay, I am building a community and I want to help as many people as I can. I actually have a group that has got a very low entry price, and you can come and join. And we are providing so much value, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so all the links that I mentioned will be in the description. Go check them out, and let's get started. So let's share my screen. So this is how it looks like. And I know it can be a little bit daunting, but I created this some time ago because I had a lot of clients asking me, how does email deliverability work? How can I make my open rate improve? How can I make sure the emails will arrive at the inbox? And this here is the answer for all those questions. Okay. And as you can see, we've got two different parts here. We've got the one-off process. So those are the things that you just need to do once and then you're done. And then we also have the continuous work. And those are the things they need to do over and over again to make sure that you will continue to get the emails delivered to the inbox and you will have really good open rates and so on. Okay. So the very first thing you need to do is set up the email authentication, okay? And what is the email authentication? The email authentication is what really makes your email sound or seems as legitimate as possible, okay? So when you, for example, we've got DKIM. So when you send an email, or let's say you're sending actually a letter, right? And you sign that letter, that letter has got your signature. So people know it's you, okay? And it's the same thing, right? But it's a digital signature. When you have ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or GetResponse, any other platform, send emails on your behalf, you need to tell the gods of the internet that you allowed them to send emails on your behalf. Otherwise, they don't know, and it's not, once again, a legitimate email. It could be considered as spam. Okay, and then we've got DMARC. And DMARC now is compulsory. You must have it, otherwise your emails might be considered as spam. And all DMARC does, it checks and makes sure that, one, you have the SPF in place. In other words, you have authorized the platform that are sending emails on your behalf to send emails on your behalf, and then that your emails are digitally signed. Okay, so very, very important, very straightforward. And I've got, like I mentioned before, a course on how you can implement these and how you can be um, in line with all the requirements that are coming now from Gmail and Yahoo, and very soon other email providers will be implementing that as well. Okay, I put MX Toolbox here, but this is just so you can really check. You can use this platform to check your DNS records, to check um, how your emails are set up, if there are any problems and issues and things like that. You can check if your domain is blacklisted. So it's always good to lean on this tool, and it's a free tool to check and see the health of your email marketing. Okay. The next thing here they need to do straight away is to set up Google Postmaster. Okay. And once again, this is free. And what you need to do is super simple. You go Google Postmaster, you open up an account with them, and then you will put your domain there. They will ask you to add a little code into your DNS. Once you have that code added to your DNS, you just go on to send emails, and then usually roughly 2 days to a week, you will be able to see some information in that. And if you're wondering what kind of information you'll be able to see, you can see quite a lot, but there are only 3 things that we really get. The first one will be the IP and domain reputation, and those two really are the most important things that you want to be able to see and check and track, because if either the IP or domain reputation is low, it means that there is a problem with your email deliverability. It means that you probably have a low open rate, and there are some steps that you need to take in order to fix that. This video is more about what you should do to prevent issues and be able to identify those issues and all that. This is not about really fixing the issues that you have right now, but this will help you. If you implement everything that I'm showing you here, there's a very, very good chance that this will fix all the problems that you have. Okay. But if you want a video about troubleshooting, a video about warming up the sending and all that stuff, like if you're migrating from one provider to another, do let me know in the comments, and I'm happy to create one for you as well. Okay. So I mentioned the Google Postmaster. We've got 3 different things that we want to check from that. First one is the IP reputation. Second one is the domain reputation, and the third one is the spam rate. Okay. So IP and domain reputation, very self-explanatory. So it's just the reputation that you have as a sender that is stored at whatever the provider that you send emails to. So if you send emails to Gmail, Gmail will be keeping track of all those emails, and then they will be keeping a reputation. Okay. And then with the IP is pretty much the same, except it's to do with where you're sending the emails from. Okay. So you can't control too much the IP reputation. If you are using a platform that doesn't have a dedicated IP, but most of the time you don't need to worry too much about that, because those platforms will be looking after you. And to be quite fair, if you have a bad IP reputation, sorry, if you have a bad domain reputation, they will give you a bad IP reputation. They will match you with whatever the level you are. So as you improve and as you increase your reputation, they will give you a better IP reputation as well. They've got so many different IPs in different levels of reputation, so they will always match. But you need to do your part. So don't expect them to save you. They won't. They will never give you a super high IP reputation if you have terrible domain reputation. That's just the game. That's how it is. Okay. Okay. So moving forward, in here, I am showing you engagement tracking. And engagement tracking is very, very important. A lot of people don't even know about this. And this is the very first thing I set up for my clients when we are onboarding them. And what it allows you to do is to track each one of the subscribers. So we're going to know precisely if they are engaged, if they are disengaged, or if they are inactive. Okay. And you might be asking, like, why do you care? Right. Well, with the engaged people, like the engaged contacts, we continue to send emails to them. Right. Engaged. And with the disengaged, what we do, we try to get them to re-engage. And there are a lot of different ways that we can do that. We can send them emails, or we can send them SMS if you have the mobile numbers, or we can even use the email to send advertisement to them via Google as well, right? And we can have all those things that I mentioned um, done using Active Campaign. So we can orchestrate all that via Active Campaign. And I'm happy to show you guys how to do that in future videos. So let me know if you want to know more about that as well. But the way it works is very simple. So we've got an automation, okay? And this automation will be doing the following. Every time someone opt in, every time someone read an email, every time someone click a link inside of an email, or reply to the email, or even if they go to your website, this is considered an engagement. So every time they engage, we are going to give them the engaged tag. Okay. And if they don't engage for, let's say, 30 days, we will consider them as disengaged. And then we're going to take actions to make sure that they come back and start engaging again. After 60 days, if they don't still read any emails, they are considered inactive. When this happens, the right thing to do is to actually unsubscribe them. Okay, because if you think about it, in 60 days, if they haven't actually read any of your emails, there's a very good chance that they won't read your emails. And if you're thinking about the Apple Mail privacy, with Active Campaign, we can actually prevent those contacts from being unsubscribed as well. So you don't need to worry too much about that part, right? Because some people might be like, well, with Apple, we can't see if people actually open their emails or not because they have the mail privacy turned on. So we don't want to unsubscribe them. But with Active Campaign, this is taken care of. So you don't need to worry about that part of the equation. You just need to make sure that you follow the guidelines I'm providing you here, and this will work. Okay. And then something else they need to, you know, um, take into consideration. And once again, this is a one-off process. Is still, if you are moving from one platform to another, or if you have a really bad domain or IP reputation, you might want to go through the warming up the sending process, right? So in other words, you can warm up the domain. And this is a process where you send emails slowly to your entire audience, your entire list. Okay. So you might start with 50 emails a day. Then tomorrow you're going to send 100 emails. Then the next day you're going to send 200 emails. Okay. It's going to be one email that you're going to send to 50 people in the first day. Second day, you're going to double that. It's going to be 100. Next day, you're going to double that. It's going to be 200. And then you keep doubling it until you reach your entire list. Okay. And the idea behind that is, one, you are tracking who's engaging, who's not engaging. Then the second thing is you were sending the signals to the Gmails, the Yahoo's, the ISP providers out there that you are slowly building up. You know, you were warming up the domain. They know what you were doing, and they will try to deliver those emails on your behalf. And then they will be watching what's happening. If people are interacting, engaging, opening emails, clicking, replying, and so on. Okay. And like I mentioned before, by using the MX tool, you will be able to check if you are in a blacklist. So most of the time you are in a blacklist only if you're doing the wrong thing. If you keep sending emails and you're not checking to see if you are in a very low situation when it comes to IP and domain reputation, or you just keep broadcasting everyone and people are just marking your emails as spam. So that kind of stuff. Cool. So now let's move into the continuous work. So these are steps that you will be taking on a daily basis or weekly basis, right? Those are the things that you will be doing very often. Okay. So let me make it a little bit bigger. So the very first thing is you're going to clean up your list. Okay. And this is a process that you're going to continue to do. And how are you going to do it? So do you remember that we have here the engaged, the disengaged, and inactive? So every time they become inactive, you just unsubscribe them. Okay. And there are other ways that we can clean up the list. I won't go into details now. What I will say is that if you are getting leads from, for example, Facebook groups, sometimes people just want to go into the group and you're asking for an email and they might just put a fake email in there. If this happens, you will end up with a big list of emails, but some of those emails, they don't actually exist, or they are spam or fake emails or whatever. So actually some people use temporary emails. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but just Google temporary emails and you will see that you can get a temporary email and you can use them, and these email will probably last for like 30 minutes or so and then they're gone, but it will be in your list. It's terrible for you as the person that gets that, temporary mail, because you can't really do anything with it and you will end up paying for that email to be in your list, right? So what you can do about it, what I have implemented for my clients is the following. Every time you've got a new lead, a new contact coming in, we filter using a third-party platform to see if this email is valid. And if they are valid, yes, we add them into your list. If they're not valid, we just delete them, right? So it saves you on a lot of different headaches and costs. One, you don't need to have any mail in your list that won't really be profitable or do anything for you. Two, you don't need to pay for that email to be in your list. Most providers that use email marketing, you send emails from, they will be charging you in the amount of contacts you have. And then three, most importantly, if you don't have those fake emails inside of your list, you won't have problems with your IP reputation, domain reputation, because that's another thing. If you keep sending emails to people and they don't exist, those emails they will never be open. Sometimes they actually bounce back, right? And the Googles, the Yahoos, they know everything. They can see that. And if you continue to send emails to those emails, those contacts, you will be punished by having a lower email deliverability reputation. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. So yeah, you should also delete the bounced emails. Okay, and now let's go into the best practices. Okay, so once again, this is something that you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so keep your list clean. So continuously clean your list. Never ever buy a list from anyone, because those people are not expecting emails from you. So unless you're doing cold emails, don't ever buy a list and add that into your active campaign or MailChimp, whatever it is. Okay, it's just terrible. Make sure that you are verifying the Google Postmaster reports to check your email deliverability. And if you see that your email deliverability is low, as in it's bad, okay, contact someone that know what they're doing to help you. That will be the easiest way. Sometimes people go and buy another domain. If you don't fix the root cause of the issue, you're going to get into the same problem. And by getting another domain, the people that you're sending emails to, if they don't know the new domain, they don't know it's you, guess what? They might not open the email, and you're going to end up like having even bigger problems. Okay, only send campaigns to contacts that are engaging. Okay, this is very important. If the contacts are inactive, and you know they are inactive because you are engagement tracking, you have the automation that controls that, and you were sending emails to people that after 60 days are not opening your emails, if you continue to send emails to them, you're going to be penalized, okay, with your reputation. So very important. Save costs by unsubscribing while increasing email deliverability. So people are inactive, unsubscribe them, save cost, and keep your email reputation at the highest you can. So disengaged clients get a re-engagement sequence. So every time they are disengaged, right, we're going to try to get their attention again. And that could be done, like I mentioned, in a lot of different ways. We can perhaps run another advertisement on Facebook, get their attention, get them to opt in. Then they will need to read the email that we're sending to them. We can send an SMS and get them to sign up to a particular offer. So there are lots of different ways that we can do this. Okay. So unsubscribe inactive contacts, and then spell check before you send any emails. And this is such a very simple thing to do, and nobody does it. It's crazy, right? So most of the platforms will allow you to just click a button and check if if the email itself is considered spammy, or it has like spammy words or anything like that. Okay, so it's very important that you check. So this is how Google Postmaster looks like. Okay, and in this particular example for one of my clients, you can see that it's all high. Okay, so it's all green. That's what you want to see. So this is the IP reputation, and then you would see the same for the domain reputation. Okay, so you want to see that all green. Sometimes it will go median, but it will fluctuate between median and high. That's absolutely fine, but you never want to see that low or bad. If you see that at low or bad, it means that you really need to take action as soon as possible. And to be quite honest, if you have done everything that I have mentioned here, the best practices, plus cleaned up the list, plus implemented the DNS records, and also the engagement tracking is in place, like you should not have any problems. Okay, but if you do, feel free to let me know, and I'm here to help you, like answer some of your questions and take it from there. Cool. The last thing in here is optimization. So optimize your subject line, optimize your content, optimize your CTA so people can actually click. Okay, the more people can engage, the more they can open your emails, reply, click links inside of it, the more um, opportunities you're going to generate, the more sales you're going to have. Okay, so that's very, very important. The last one in here is unsubscribe. Okay, so provide options for people to unsubscribe, and just make sure that you do have the unsubscribe at the bottom of each email so they can actually go and unsubscribe. Cool. So provide the option for people to unsubscribe. That's very important. Okay. So yeah, let me know what do you think about this video. If you want me to go a little bit deeper, if there's any particular question that you might have, here to help you. And thank you so much for your time. I hope you have enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Take care.